Okay, you want me to tell you about school or healthcare? Would you like to hear about healthcare?
I would love to hear about healthcare.
Let's talk about that, shall we?
Good. We're gonna surprise her on healthcare.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to talk first. When I came to Hayes, I come from a farm, and I wasn't a Catholic, and I did not know what a nun was. Well, I went to a private Catholic school. We only accepted 12 people. They were in existence 10 years. Our uniforms were dresses. We did not wear pants by any means, or scrubs.
Were you allowed to wear tights?
Oh gosh, no. We had white hose, cotton underwear, and we had our uniforms were buttoned clear up to here, and a lot of them were down to the elbow, and 13 inches from the floor, and white shoes.
What was the name of your school?
St. Anthony's School of Nursing here in Hayes.
Okay, so you did that.
It was in existence 10 years.
So you had already finished
Hayes, Kansas.
You finished high school in Gove County.
Yes, and then I went to Oakley and worked a year and stayed with my grandparents, took care of them to see if I wanted to be a real nurse or a beauty operator. And I thought I'd like to be a real nurse. And so I came here because several of the girls that had graduated from here were working in Oakley, and they encouraged me to come. That's why I got here. So anyway, I'm here, and I am we go to school for 6 months, and then we get our Proby hat, which is a little bitty nursing hat, and then half of our training was on the floor, and half of it was in the classroom. And I knew very, very little German. My folks would talk German, but they talked the things that they said things that was naughty words. And I know a lot of naughty words in German, but I didn't know how to speak German. I understand there's a high and there's a low German. Well, I'm taking care of this lovely little old man, and I'm 20, what am I, 20, 18, no, 19. I was 19 years old, and I'm taking care of him, and he's saying really fast. And so I got him a fresh glass of water. I rubbed his back, and I fluffed his pillow, and he just kept saying this over and over and over. And everything I did, nothing was right. And he wet the bed. And I thought, if I survive in this German community, I better learn some German. So I know quite a bit. I understand more than I can speak it. But anyway, that was interesting. And then the doctors came, and most of them wore three-piece suits when they came, and hats when they came. And they always told us, well, it was Catholic school, so they told us if the Pope come, we're to get down, kneel down, and kiss their ring. Well, I'm a farm girl. I've not been around. And the doctor comes on the floor, and I knelt down and kissed his ring. And he laughed, and so did I. And I thought, well, he's a friendly old guy. And here it was a doctor. So I really learned a lot coming in nursing school. I had to learn. But we had to practice on each other. And I came when the iron lung was just at the end. That's when I started nursing. Mm-hmm. And we had to get in the iron lung. All of us, we had to experience what we did to our patients. We gave each other enemas. We fed each other through the tube, through the nose. We shaved each other's bodies. We gave each other's baths. We had to do all of that, and it wasn't on like like Polly, like we used to give Polly the CPR. It wasn't like it was on each other, because we were taught that we needed to know how those people felt when this was being done to them. We had to give each other shots. Mm-hmm. And it was very interesting. Now that nurses and doctors come in scrubs, and you don't know if it's a cleaning lady, a maintenance man, which is okay. I mean, they all have their specialties. But I just have so much respect for a doctor and a nurse or anybody in a uniform. I still do, and I probably always will. I just enjoyed the healthcare.
So your training as a nurse was 6 months, you said?
No, after 6 months in the classroom, then we started training on the floor. It was 3 full years. We didn't get to go home on weekends. We didn't have spring breaks. We didn't have Christmas breaks. We worked.
So you didn't see your family for 3 years?
Well, they could come down and maybe they could visit us. But we had such a schedule that...
How much did you pay to go to school?
My folks paid for it, and I think it was like about $1,500 for 3 years, which was a lot of money at the time.
And where did you live?
That's just going to tell you. There were 3 homes, and the freshmen lived across from where Sunflower Electric is. That was old St. Anthony Hospital here in Hayes, Kansas. And right behind it, that house on the corner, that was our freshman house. And we all stayed there. And the one next to it, to the west of it, was the senior house. And we got to be seniors. We stayed there. Well, we went from freshmen to juniors, and we stayed in the hospital our junior year. But my freshman year, I thought, oh, I can't handle this. And I had 3 roommates. And during the middle of the night, I packed my bags, and I went to the phone, and I called my folks long distance and told my dad to come and get me. I said, I can't handle this. And
what was wrong?
It was just hard. I mean, it was just, coming from the farm, all this stuff, learning all this about farm stuff. And then this was a city. This was like Kansas City to me. It was a big place.
How many people lived here?
We had, 17,000. But it was big, because I come from a town, I was the only girl in my high school class with 8 boys. And in the little towns, and it was just hard. I'd never been away from home, and I was homesick, and but my dad said, you go back upstairs, go to your room, you go to bed. Your mother and I are in bed. And he probably did the best thing he ever did for me. Practiced a little tough love there, but I went back and I thought, well, I'll just show you I'm going to do this, and so I did. I finished it.
So how common was it for girls to go to school rather than get married after high
Oh,
school?
we could never get married and go to nursing school. Oh my goodness, no. We had if you got married, and one of our classmates did, and she had to drop out. They wouldn't accept her.
So were you the only girl who wasn't Catholic in your nursing program?
Let's see, no, there were about half of us.
Okay.
And then I became a Catholic, and most of us did.
Okay, how were you treated not being a Catholic?
We were treated wonderful. Every morning we'd get up and we had to be in chapel to say prayer. We all said prayer before breakfast, and then we all went to the cafeteria. We had to eat, and this was our daily routine. And then we went on the floor, and we had 4 patients to take care of, and they were heart patients. We didn't have ICUs, and we just had a recovery room, and we took care of the hardest patients, the ones that had surgery the day before or that day, and we took care of the ones who were terminally ill, and just 4 hard patients. And we had to give their medication, and we had to figure out the dosage. Like Demerol came in a great big vial, and we had to learn how to figure out the dosage. Now it comes prepackaged, and you just grab it and give it and go. But we didn't. And then we had to do all the treatments. We had to give the bath. We got them up. We walked them. And we had 4 hours to do 4 patients and chart. We did our own charting. And again, today they use the computers, But we had to manually chart everything. And then at 11 o'clock, we all went down for lunch. And then at 12 o'clock, we had what they call convocations. And we had to, we learned things about personal hygiene, legal aspects of nursing, polishing shoes, and all kinds of things. We always had a guest speaker. And then from 12 to 1, we were, or after 12, and it was only about 10 or 15 minutes, then we were free until 1 o'clock. Then we were in the classroom from 1 to 4. And then at 4 to 5, we were back on the floor, and we did what they call PM care, and for these 4 hard patients again, and we had 1 hour to get them up, and back rubs. Oh, we gave more back rubs. They don't even do that anymore, and that is wonderful. When you're on your back, it is wonderful. But I don't think nurses nowadays even know how to give a back rub, but that's one of the first things I learned.
So they taught you how to do
They
that?
did. They taught us how to do that. And then at 5 o'clock, we ate supper, and then from 5 to 7, we were free. And we had a volleyball net, and we girls would go out and play volleyball just to get a little fresh air and some exercise. And then from 7 to 9, we were in the library every night. All of us. This is mandatory. And at 10 o'clock, the lights were out. So we had no time for boyfriends or social life at all. We had no time. And we didn't have any breaks, like I said. And if we, like on the weekends, if we were scheduled not to work, we'd babysit for the doctors. And we got 50 cents an hour. And we really thought we were wealthy because we worked for nothing. We worked on the floor. We never got paid or anything. That was all